I'm also really honored to share a beautiful message that Paige Stegner, who is the son of Wallace and Mary Stegner, with you. Wallace Stegner left a lasting legacy for our region through his strong conservation ethic, his many, many novels, beautiful writing, and his influence on young writers. His is the literary voice of the American West, and those of us who have read his work will attest to the elegance with which he celebrates the beauty and significance of the West's wild places. He was an enthusiastic supporter of Post's mission and of the lecture series that it planned to launch. He had planned to moderate the first lecture back 20 years ago, but died suddenly, shortly before the series launched. These lectures are named in his honor. Paige was sorry not to be able to join us tonight. He spends most of the year in Maine these days, although he actually wrote this note from Santa Fe. So we don't know exactly where he is. Yet he wanted to celebrate this 20th anniversary year as well. And he says, "When my family arrived in the Bay Area for the first time in 1945, my father wrote to his good friend Philip Gray back in Greensboro, Vermont, 'California, that is Palo Alto, is not wilderness. Coming at $3,000 an acre and selling altogether too quickly at that price, it is a very pleasant country. Golden wheat, oat hills dotted with marvelous old live oak trees and bay trees, with the dark pine-covered ridge of the coastal range behind, and in front, the hills dropping down over orchards and town to the bay. And beyond the bay, the barren gold ridge of the Diablo Range, with Mount Hamilton coming up in the midst of it.' After a few years of admiring that view from various rental homes on the Stanford campus, my family bought 10 acres up Page Mill Road in the Los Altos Hills, way out in the boondocks, as I perceived it, out in the wilderness, and the back of beyond, which I think is a great phrase. My father paid $5,000 for the piece of land that descended from hilltop to creek bottom, and we built a house on that hill from which, after sundown, not a single light could be seen in any direction. A faint glow from San Francisco marked the northern skyline. To the south, and the few podunk hamlets, no offense intended here, of Mountain View, Sunnyvale, and Cupertino, there was nothing. Even the 90,000 folks living in San Jose could not generate enough candle power to knock out the stars. Those were still the days when families would load up the car on weekends and go for a ride in the country. My father never quite got over either the Depression or the World War II gas rationing, so our outings were never got much further south of Palo Alto than the tiny town where you are comfortably seated this evening. We would buy apricots and cherries from roadside vendors who serviced the surrounding orchards and spit the seeds out the window driving home. Mountain View had a population of 6,500 souls in those days, Sunnyvale a whopping 9,000, Cupertino 2,500, including 268 foreign-born. And virtually everyone was involved in the agricultural base of the South Bay region. To understate the obvious, much has changed in the ensuing 68 years. Mountain View has grown to a population of 74,000, Sunnyvale 142,000, Cupertino 59,000. San Jose counts almost 1 million residents, and the state of California 38 million residents. And the cherry, apricot, and plum orchards are gone, cut down, paved over, and replanted to condos, townhouses, luxury estates, mini castles, which is why groups like the Peninsula Open Space Trust are so important, and why, as the eldest representative of the Stegner family, I salute you tonight. If you're going to retain any of the last of that very pleasant country that my father, Wallace Stegner, wrote about to his friend in 1945, It is because of Post and all the various land trusts, conservancies, and preservation societies who work tirelessly to beat back the tsunami of growth and progress that threatens to sweep away everything that allows us an hour of reflective seclusion, far from the maddening crowd. Keep up the hard, good work. It would be dispiriting, indeed, to revisit my native state and to find a McMansion instead of the observatory on the top of Mount Hamilton and wonder where the flowers have gone.